formed on me. So I wintered through 3 hives through the winter. I've still got 3 hives right now. But what I did in the fall, like from the end of September, because we had no flow of any nectar or honey or anything going on, the goldenrod had gone down. I fed off my back porch with feeders, bucket feeders.
Not a good idea.
Okay, and why would that not be?
Because,
the bees were coming and
yeah.
I mean going. I mean they sucked it dry.
Yeah.
I mean,
how many of them did you recognize? Did you have them all marked? Was they all
no.
yours?
Now, I'm sure some of them were not mine.
Now, what
Yeah.
you're doing is
Exactly.
attracting a bunch of bees to, and bees can fly by a hive. They can sense you got a weak hive. They'll go to that weak hive, and then it starts dominoes down through your bee yard.
Okay. So you only recommend feeding your hive in the hive, not outside.
Worst comes to worst, put a jar in there, and everybody's seen the jar feeders. When they sell them, they got rows and rows of holes. Throw that lid away. Get a canning lid and put the canning lid on it, and take a staple gun and shoot one staple in there and take the staple out. Now you got 2 holes. Okay? I don't know if I got some cans around here that'll show you. It's the same size hole that we use for packages.
Okay.
The bees will suck it down, they're not going to starve. But when you put too much, what holds that syrup in that jar?
Right.
Vacuum, right?
Vacuum.
And at night, the barometric pressure changes. And then if you got a feeder there, on the top of the hive or in the front, either way, it goes glurt, glurt, glurt. And if it's in the front of the hive, now you've got a bunch of ants coming. You're feeding them.
Right.
If it's on the top of the hive, now you drown the queen.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. All I can do is provide the thing. You have to apply it. But now, going back to feeding, everybody says, well, 1-to-1, you know, all this. When you open a can of peaches, when you pour it, that's what you want to duplicate, or more.
So the
I mean,
thicker the
why-
better?
Huh?
The thicker the syrup, the better.
Well, the bees have a 1-to-1 or a 2-to-1 or a 5-to-1. And it's called a state inspector and say, you suspect that they got foul brood.
Your neighbors did that.
They didn't, the state come out and inspect for it?
I just know that they're very unhappy that the state,
Because if
Told
you
them
have
that
foul
they
brood,
can't
the
use
state has the
those.
right to come in and burn everything you got.
well, nobody's come in and burned them, but they've been told that they have to burn them. I don't
And
know
they
if
don't
they've-
normally do that.
Now you have to burn
I don't
everything,
know
the
if
complete
they
hive,
burn
don't
them
you?
or not.
You have to burn.
What are you going to salvage?
That's what I was figuring. There's nothing you
Now,
can salvage.
Tennessee, it was, I don't know how many years back, they had a program, a portable treating unit. It was basically a treat for diseases and stuff. You pull a vacuum out like they treat for pressure treated wood, and they found out it was ineffective. The only thing that old beekeepers know that works is burning. It's cheaper to burn a hive than to take a chance on it. It's, you can listen to a lot of people, take a chance you want, do what you want. I mean, all I can do is give you some advice, and you have to make your own decision.
Well, that's when we get back home in DC, that's one of the things I'm going to find out is what happened,
Okay.
what they did or didn't do.
I'm going to try to do, depending if I get some students up here who can shoot videos, I want to do complete videos on how to treat with all the oils and stuff.
That would be fabulous.
Joe May is one of my students, and it's the little detail he didn't listen to. When you feed in the springtime and you feed in the fall, it's 2 different ways to feed. Lemongrass, a drop goes a long ways. If you put too much lemongrass in your feed, you attract a lot of bees and you're going to have a robbing situation. Lemongrass is good as it's like a honeybee healthy or a big brood builder. It'll cause them to stimulate and really eat. And the more they engorge themselves, the more wax they produce and the more they grow.
I just bought Honeybee Healthy for the first time last year, but I haven't used it.
Would you
is
buy
that-
a gallon?
It's about this
How much did you
much.
cost that?
A lot.
No, tell me how much you think.
I don't remember. I bought it last year. I haven't used it yet. You saw it in the cabinet.
Oh, Barnyard Beef sells 8 ounces for $32 for the Honeybee
I
Healthy.
paid at least that for whatever it is. that I-
$32.
It was a lot of money,
If you
and now I'm
know
wondering if I
what
should
you're doing
use
and
it.
you buy the right oils, that container's 300 gallons. You could fill it 3 times with oils.
Oh,
And when you buy any essence of oil, make sure you read it, that it says natural or steam pressed, not for aromatherapy. If you buy aromatherapy, it's cheap. And if you tell me you went to like GNC and you got something for $6, like lemongrass oil or tea tree oil, for $6 it's aromatherapy, but I don't think tea tree oil comes with aromatherapy. I'm just using that as an example.
Right, right.
But like wintergreen or spearmint, stuff like that, you know, or lavender, it'll smell, but it doesn't do the bees any good. You're wasting your time and money.
Okay.
Can I just make a comment
Sure.
since we're on the oils?
Yeah.
He's got a formula on YouTube that works great. However, get you a really, really cheap blender because that oil will destroy.
Your blender.
I still hear that from her.
And I have one designated just for the oil emulsification because you have to blend it 5 minutes to get the oils
It'll
to
eat the
blend
seals
together
up.
and stay together. Yeah.
Yeah, when you do your concentrations, always wear
Good to
latex
know.
gloves.
Thank you.
It'll burn you.
Now that I have that bottle, should I follow, I assume the instructions are, should I use that or should I do my own?
Well, you bought it, use it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is it just as good as doing
Well,
it? Or is it good enough to use this year
it's-
since I bought it?
It's a product, you're paying for a service. It's like here. You're probably getting, if somebody was here taking everything down I said today and put it in a book, they'd sell it for $30 or $40.
Sure.
You know. So use it, but
Okay.
you can make your own
The
stuff
next
just as
time
good.
I don't have to do that.
Yeah, but those are the oils you want to try to buy yourself. Now, I buy my stuff by the gallon. $450 is a drop in a bucket. And some people, oh, that's a lot of money. But you know, like I buy frames. Everything I buy is in quantities. We buy sugar by the ton, not the bag.
I love to read that.
In fact, right now I'm trying to get a deal going, make a tractor trailer load with about 47,000 on it. Sugar? Sugar. That ain't nothing. There's 330 gallons, or about 300 gallons in that there, and to feed our bee yards, if there's no honey flow, he might use that once a week or sometimes twice a week. But see, this is a this is a schoolyard. So, I don't know, have you ever been to our out yards?
No, I
We
haven't.
got, within an hour driving here, we run about 8 yards.
Wow.
We don't normally take our students to our bee
Right.
yards unless they're pretty experienced. Here, you're paying me $500. I expect you're going to make a mistake. In fact, I tell students, if you follow me around and you did exactly like what I do all day long, you ain't learn nothing. I want you to work a hive. I want you to make a mistake so I can help you. If you don't make a mistake, you ain't going to learn nothing. It's just like this hive tool. And people buy these big long hooks with a thing on the end. And I hope you don't have that. You got that.
I don't know, it's in the car. I
All
have
right.
that too.
There's several different scrapers that they got. You see this? It's dull.
Yeah.
They can pass it around and feel it. And I want to explain to you why.
I already know
That's a
why,
pride by it.
because I've done it.
I have too.
What have you done?
Cut my hands.
Yeah, I have to.
You know
Really?
there's a right way and there's a wrong way to carry that?
I learned that, Don, didn't I? That's the right way with this hook inside, because then you can't go like that.
See this?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
learned that, yes.
That's the wrong way.
Wow.
Okay?
Okay.
And it does slice you when you don't
And-
even know it, and you go, my gosh, what did
Yeah.
I do?
Yeah.
I'm not being discriminatory against women. But if I teach women and I teach men, the women want to be clean and tidy. So they take the hive tool and clean all the burr comb off all the frames. Don't ever do that. Because what will happen, and I've done it, the reason I tell you, because I made those mistakes. If that queen sticks her head up to see what's going on and you do this, you decapitate that queen. Okay?
God, I do that every year.
Do you scrape those frames?
I do.
There's
I'm
11.
a woman through and through.
11.
I'll never do it again.
You learned
It
11
feels so good.
11 things today.
We're on 11. Yeah, let's make
All
it
right.
an even dozen.
Now, the reason that you're doing this, why do you think you're doing that?
I'm trying to get the bird home.
No. The only reason they're making burr comb is because the distance between the top of the frame to the next hive is incorrect.
Oh,
Okay? So they're building a ladder to climb.
Oh my word.
What I teach here, believe me, I teach you what is not in books. Take care.
But the inspectors say that they have to be, and you know, since I don't use
The inspector doesn't
foundation.
make a living,
Oh,
okay?
I hate my inspector, but anyway, the inspector says that they have to be clean before she comes, so that she can get the frames inside and out. And she uses
She says that?
She comes. It's never going to happen to me again. I'm going to. And does she
That's
have to
12 things.
supply her? That's right. We're already at a dozen. So does she have to supply the throwaway coat, or
She is the state bee inspector.
yes?
She has to provide her stuff, not you,
Yes.
okay?
She is a hateful person.
Once,
I want to
Video
video
that.
Yeah, video that one, okay? Yeah, why did you put that on the
I'm
Don's
not kidding.
site?
She's not
You
a
sell
pleasant
honey, don't you?
person. No, I don't sell.
well, I thought you maybe
Wait.
selling some honey.
No, I don't sell anything.
Maybe
We,
is this
we
a
have
dumb
8
question, but
hives and they're
do we have
gifts.
to have
And
an inspection on bees if you?
That's a good question. I've even asked the bee inspector here. In this state, there's a shortage of bee inspectors, and I suppose it's everywhere. But here's the thing.
2 for all the state of Georgia.
Okay, well,
That Virginia
One
has
for
8 or
Tennessee.
9.
here's the thing, though. Mary's in business, okay? And I go to Tennessee, and I buy 2 hives from her. And I call her up and say, Mary, my bees are dying now, and I got foul brood from you. Mary holds up her certificate. State says I'm free and clear of all diseases. Save yourself a lawsuit. It's not required.
But if
for
you're
your
doing it as a
benefit.
business, you want
Yeah.
to cover your butt.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now, even with me picking up Don's bees to take them back to Virginia, when I get to Virginia, I have to call my local inspector, and he has to come out and inspect those bees before I can even put them into a hive.
Nope, you can't inspect them. That's a good question. There's a law that the bee inspector inspects for foul brood. There's no inspector can look at a package and say you've got foul brood,
right.
right?
So were they